Hello everyone, it's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 102. Today I've discovered some of the hidden buried artifacts that are in a box and in the garage. And I was able to dig some of these artifacts out, which never see the light of day, and I don't have a place to display them. So probably a lot of people would never ever see these again. So I thought, well, I'll take some pictures of them and show some of these artifacts that are buried, and as I say, never will probably see the light of day very often, if at all. So this was prompted from my previous video where I was showing some clippings. These are certificates and awards and stuff over the years that I've won. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And the very first one was my Cheerio Yo-Yo 24 Trick Award and my Junior Cheerio Yo-Yo Instructor badges that I won when I was probably 12 years old in Port Arthur. I still have that yo-yo. I don't have it with me now. It's in the other house that I've been dog sitting. I could have brought it across, but never thought of it until I started. Well, it's a bit too late. Some other day I'll show you the yo-yo. Maybe do some yo-yo tricks that I still remember 70 years later, approximately. Anyway, the next item I have was that I dug out of the box was my first aid certificate in 1956. You will notice it was in Port Arthur, and that was early in the year before we moved to Vancouver. And that's probably when I was in Boy Scouts. And I was in Boy Scouts in Port Arthur, so that's when I received that. And the next certificate I have to show you was from Vancouver, where I was again in Boy Scouts, and I got my patrol leader training. So that was in November of 1957, after my dad had been transferred. So that was 1957. And then in 1960, I received my Queen Scout Award. And I recall putting this in a folder, and when I go for job interviews, I would have that said I was a Queen Scout, because not a large percentage of Scouts become a Queen Scout. So that was an accomplishment. In January of 1960, I received that award. As you can see, I was based in Vancouver. And then this is a certificate from my Rover Scout leader saying that, hey, I'm now a Rover Scout. And what I have to show this one because my Rover Scout leader, Skipper Ron Altry, watches these videos, and I'm sure he appreciates seeing that I still have the certificate that he gave me. And I will try and expand this a little bit, because at the bottom he wrote a comment which I think is very true. And it says, I trust you will do your best at all times henceforward. Best of luck, Skipper Altry. So Ron, thanks you very much. And I owe you a phone call, but I'm sure you will be pleased to see this particular certificate you gave me in 1960 when I joined Rover Scouts. My high school graduation diploma from John Oliver High School in Vancouver, also in 1960. The another first aid certificate, this time from Burnaby or Vancouver in 1962. Prior to me, again, probably in Scouts, but prior to me leaving Canada around September, Vancouver anyway, leaving Vancouver in the summer of 1962. And then in 1964, this was in South Africa, the Government Miners Training School. With honors, I passed the exam for becoming a miner. At that time, that was a year later after I had started, but I still had to do 6 months before I could finish and get my blasting certificate, which then allowed me to go and earn some money. But as you may recall, if you watched a previous video, I went and became a learner official. And whilst I was learner official, I attended the Witwatersrand Technical College doing their mining diploma. And this is in 1965 when I was doing my second year course. And I was the best second year mining student, the best geology, mining economics, and mining engineer student. So I won 4 awards for academic awards in that year, and I'll show you the awards. I went backwards. There is the award for best second-year student, and the geology course I was the best, mining economics, and also mining engineering for the second year in 1965. Then the following year in 1966, I got 5 awards. The best third-year mining student and the best student for over 3 years. In the mining economics, I got a silver medal, which I'll be showing you. And for the mining plant, which I tied with a fellow for the best, being the best student. And this was a letter that I sort of treasure a little bit. It's from Union Corporation, where I was working for on St. Helena gold mine, and they asked permission from the general manager, and that was his signature saying it's okay that I could go and attend the award ceremony. He was a tough guy, gave me a rough time, but I think he gave everybody a rough time. So I don't know, but he had to sign that I could attend the award ceremony. He gave me a rough time a couple times while I was working on that mine. And these were the awards, you know, the best learner official student, and the best, what's that one, third-year mining student, and the best, oops, this is in the way, I can't see it. Anyway, my silver medal, which is quite heavy, and again, it never sees the light of day, but it's, I think it's solid silver. It's pretty heavy anyway, whatever it's made from. And it says the Witwatersrand Technical College Mining Department, and on the other side, it's engraved with my name. So if I expand it a little bit, you can see when I move it up. There it says Mining F.E. Jones, Skaw Metals medal. So that was my silver medal. And then I got the award for mining plant, which I shared with the other person. Then in 1979, at the age of 27, I managed to get my mine managed certificate, which was quite an accomplishment, a very difficult exam. It's written exams. And there was only a pass or a fail. And this was not easy. A lot of people fail, and we always didn't know why, didn't seem to make sense. The only thing we used to say is examiners used to stand at the top of the stairs and throw all the exam papers down, and those that landed the furthest, those are the ones that passed. That was the only sense we could make out of who passed and who failed. But I was fortunate at a relatively young age to get my mine manager certificate. And a few months later, I got a more junior certificate, which was mine overseers, because I didn't expect really to pass. And I thought, well, I might as well get my mine overseer certificate while I'm writing my mine manager's certificate. And I got the mine managers before mine overseers, which was sort of very unusual. I didn't need the mine overseers once I got the mine managers, but I went and received it. And here's my first certificate from the Department of Education and Arts and Science. I got my certificate in metalliferous mining for technicians. And the date on this is 1965. And I want to point that out because the following one is my diploma. And this was 1965. I received my certificate for after, studying for 2 years in the college. However, when it came time to get my diploma, it took me a long time. So this is my national diploma. And I received that 12 years later. It took me 12 years to pass one course that was a big challenge to me. I had everything else. So this was in 1977, 12 years after I received my certificate for, it says I had a minimum of 4 years. Well, it took me 12 years after I got my certificate. So that's 16 years later. I received this for the reason of the one subject that I had challenged to pass. This is not very clear, but I can probably show you if I expand it. These are the subjects, and the very first subject at the top was the one that gave me a problem, Afrikaans. I could pass English, but Afrikaans I needed at a lower level. I must have written that exam at least 12 times, if not 20 times. I passed all these others with distinctions. You'll see the little asterisks. Those were distinctions. But Afrikaans held me back for 12 years before I finally was given it. I think they said, hey, this guy's never going to get it, so let's pass him because he keeps writing every year. Afrikaans was not easy for me, whereas all these other subjects I managed to get distinctions in. So that was interesting that I finally got the diploma. This was them congratulating me on getting the diploma in 1977. Here's a couple of awards. I started my own business around 1988 when I was in Canada, which was recruiting, and I called it MQS Executive Search. And I belonged to National Personnel Associates in the United States, and we would share and work with each other. And I received some awards for that. And a lot of, they were great on certificates, but these were two of the little sort of trophies that they sent out for National Personnel Associates for accomplishing some good results. And then Toastmasters, I found the fact that in 2012, the District Youth Leadership Coordinator, I had been doing that for a couple of years, and they gave me an award for doing distinguished service. And in fact, I believe this 2011-2012 for service above and beyond was for being the Youth Leadership Coordinator from the district of District 21, which is the province of British Columbia in those days. And then in 2014, when I went to Kuala Lumpur for the International Toastmasters Convention, I had volunteered there, so they gave me this certificate. It's a nice memory of going to Kuala Lumpur in 2014. And also in 2014, 2015, I was the District Outstanding Toastmaster. Now, there probably in those days, there was probably about 2,000 Toastmasters in the province of British Columbia. And the fact that District 21 awarded me this was a big surprise to me. And they also gave me a memento, which I'll show you shortly, because in August 2014, I received my Distinguished Toastmaster Award from Toastmasters. And this is the award they gave me for being Toastmaster of the Year, 2014 to 2015. So those are some of the buried artifacts that probably never will see much the light of the day other than me taking them out, and I'll put them back in the box, and they'll probably stay there for many more years. So starting with when I was 12 years old, my first award was my Yo-Yo 24 Trick Award, and those are some of the awards that are buried, and I thought I would share them with you and for posterity so that my descendants would say, oh, look, he had all that stuff. And they'll probably never see it in real life. So with that, I'll say adios, au revoir, wishing you, your family and friends, lots of love and laughter. Bye for now. Until next time, from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.